Chapter 3 Human Reproduction. 1. Formation of ovum ceases in women around the age of 50 years. True, true, true. 2. A diagrammatic sectional view of the male pelvis is shown in diagram. I. Label A to O. Diagram. 1. A. Ureter. B. Seminal vesicle. C. Urinary bladder. D. Vas deferens. E. Prostate. F. Penis. G. Urethra. H. Glans penis. I. Foreskin. J. Scrotum. K. Testis. L. Bulbourethral gland. M. Anus. N. Rectum. O. Ejaculatory duct. Diagram. 1. A. Ureter. B. Seminal vesicle. C. Urinary bladder. D. Vas deferens. E. Prostate. F. Penis. G. Urethra. H. Glans penis. I. Foreskin. J. Scrotum. K. Testis. L. Bulbourethral gland. M. Anus. N. Rectum. O. Ejaculatory duct. Diagram. 1. A. Ureter. B. Seminal vesicle. C. Urinary bladder. D. Vas deferens. E. Prostate. F. Penis. G. Urethra. H. Glans penis. I. Foreskin. J. Scrotum. K. Testis. L. Bulbourethral gland. M. Anus. N. Rectum. O. Ejaculatory duct. 3. A diagrammatic view of the male reproductive system is shown in diagram. 2. Label A to N. Diagram. 2. A. Ureter. B. Vas deferens. C. Epididymis. D. Vasa efferentia. E. Rete testis. F. Testicular lobules. A. Glans penis. H. Foreskin. I. Testis. J. Urethra. K. Bulbourethral gland. L. Prostate. M. Seminal vesicle. N. Urinary bladder. Diagram. 2. A. Ureter. B. Vas deferens. C. Epididymis. D. Vasa efferentia. E. Rete testis. F. Testicular lobules. A. Glans penis. H. Foreskin. I. Testis. J. Urethra. K. Bulbourethral gland. L. Prostate. M. Seminal vesicle. N. Urinary bladder. Diagram. 2. A. Ureter. B. Vas deferens. C. Epididymis. D. Vasa efferentia. E. Rete testis. F. Testicular lobules. A. Glans penis. H. Foreskin. I. Testis. J. Urethra. K. Bulbourethral gland. L. Prostate. M. Seminal vesicle. N. Urinary bladder. 4. Testes are situated in a pouch called dash. Scrotum. 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 5. Scrotum helps to lower the temperature by DASHC. 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius. 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius. 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius. 6. Lowering temperature is necessary for dash. Spermatogenesis. 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 7. Length and width of the testes are about. Length 4 to 5 cm, width 2-3 cm. Length 4 to 5 cm, width 2-3 cm. Length 4 to 5 cm, width 2-3 cm. 8. The testes are covered by a light, dense covering. Dense, dense, dense. 9. How many testicular lobules are present in the testes? 250, 250, 250. 10. How many seminiferous tubules are present in a single testis? 250 to 750. 250 to 750. 250 to 750. 11. Each lobule contains dash no of seminiferous tubules. 1 to 3. 1 to 3. 1 to 3. 12. Seminiferous tubule is lined on its inside by two types of cells called dash and dash. Male germ cell and Sertoli cell. Male germ cell and Sertoli cell. Male germ cell and Sertoli cell. 13. Male germ cells undergo mitotic division. False. 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 14. Dash provide nutrition to germ cells. Sertoli. 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 15. Region outside the seminiferous tubule is called dash and it contains dash and dash. Interstitial space, small blood vessels in Leydig cell, or interstitial cells. Interstitial space, small blood vessels in Leydig cell, or interstitial cells. Interstitial space, small blood vessels in Leydig cell, or interstitial cells. 16. Leydig cell secretes dash. Androgens like testosterone. Androgens like testosterone. Androgens like testosterone. 17. Immunologically competent cells are absent in regions outside the seminiferous tubule. False. 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 18. Arrange the male accessory ducts in sequence from testes to urethra. Rete testis to vasa efferentia to epididymis to vas deferens. Rete testis to vasa efferentia to epididymis to vas deferens. Reti testis to vasa efferentia to epididymis to vas deferens. 19. The epididymis is located on the anterior, posterior surface of the testes. Posterior, posterior, posterior. 20. The epididymis ascends to the abdomen and loops over the urinary bladder. False, vas deferens. False, vas deferens. False, vas deferens. 21. These ducts store the sperms. True, true, true. 22. Dash is the male external genitalia. Penis, penis, penis. 23. The penis is made up of a special tissue that helps in dash. Erection, erection, erection. 24. The enlarged end of the penis is called dash and is covered by a loose fold of skin called dash. Glans penis, foreskin. Glans penis, foreskin. Glans penis, foreskin. 25. Male accessory glands include seminal vesicles, prostate, and paired bulbourethral glands. Seminal vesicles, prostate, and paired bulbourethral glands. Seminal vesicles, prostate, and paired bulbourethral glands. 26. Seminal plasma is rich in fructose, calcium, and certain enzymes. Fructose, calcium, and certain enzymes. Fructose, calcium, and certain enzymes. 27. A diagrammatic sectional view of the seminiferous tubule is shown in diagram. 3. Label A, B, C, and D. Diagram. 3. A. Interstitial cells. B. Spermatogonia. C. Spermatozoa. D. Sertoli cells. Diagram. 3. A. Interstitial cells. B. Spermatogonia. C. Spermatozoa. D. Sertoli cells. Diagram. 3. A. Interstitial cells. B. Spermatogonia. C. Spermatozoa. D. Sertoli cells. 28. The bulbourethral gland is also called dash gland and helps in dash. Cowper, lubrication of the penis. Cowper, lubrication of the penis. Cowper, lubrication of the penis. 29. A diagrammatic sectional view of the female pelvis is shown in diagram. 4. Label A to L. Diagram. 4. A. Uterus. B. Urinary bladder. C. Pubic symphysis. D. Urethra. A. Clitoris. F. Labium minora. G. Labium majora. H. Vaginal orifice. I. Anus. J. Vagina. K. Rectum. L. Cervix. Diagram. 4. A. Uterus. B. Urinary bladder. C. Pubic symphysis. D. Urethra. A. Clitoris. F. Labium minora. G. Labium majora. H. Vaginal orifice. I. Anus. J. Vagina. K. Rectum. L. Cervix. Diagram. 4. A. Uterus. B. Urinary bladder. C. Pubic symphysis. D. Urethra. A. Clitoris. F. Labium minora. G. Labium majora. H. Vaginal orifice. I. Anus. J. Vagina. K. Rectum. L. Cervix. 30. A diagrammatic sectional view of the female reproductive system is shown in diagram. 5. Label A to N. Diagram. 5. A. Uterine fundus. B. Uterine cavity. C. Endometrium. D. Myometrium. A. Perimetrium. F. Vagina. G. Cervical canal. H. Cervix. I. Ovary. J. Fimbriae. K. Infundibulum. L. Ampulla. M. Isthmus. N. Fallopian tube. Diagram. 5. A. Uterine fundus. B. Uterine cavity. C. Endometrium. D. Myometrium. A. Perimetrium. F. Vagina. G. Cervical canal. H. Cervix. I. Ovary. J. Fimbriae. K. Infundibulum. L. Ampulla. M. Isthmus. N. Fallopian tube. Diagram. 5. A. Uterine fundus. B. Uterine cavity. C. Endometrium. D. Myometrium. A. Perimetrium. F. Vagina. G. Cervical canal. H. Cervix. I. Ovary. J. Fimbriae. K. Infundibulum. L. Ampulla. M. Isthmus. N. Fallopian tube. 31. The primary female sex organ is ovary. 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 32. The ovary is located in the upper, lower abdomen. Lower, lower, lower. 33. The ovary length is -cm. 2-4 cm. 2-4 cm. 2-4 cm. 34. The ovary is connected to the pelvic wall in uterus by ligaments. 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 35. The ovary is covered by thick, thin epithelium which encloses thin, ovarian stroma. Thin, ovarian stroma. Thin, ovarian stroma. 36. The stroma is divided into two zones, namely and peripheral cortex and inner medulla. Peripheral cortex and inner medulla. peripheral cortex and inner medulla. 37. Female accessory ducts include oviducts, uterus, and vagina. Oviducts, uterus, and vagina. Oviducts, uterus, and vagina. 38. Fallopian tube length is 10-12 cm. 10-12 cm. 10-12 cm. 39. The three parts of the fallopian tube are infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus. Infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus. Infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus. 40. The part of the fallopian tube close to the ovary is infundibulum. 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 41. Infundibulum is dash-shaped. Funnel. 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 42. Finger-like projections from infundibulum are called fimbriae. 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 43. Function of fimbriae is collection of ovum after ovulation. Collection of ovum after ovulation. Collection of ovum after ovulation. 44. Ampulla is a narrow lumen. F. 45. Dash is a wider part of the oviduct and dash is a narrow lumen. Ampulla, isthmus. Ampulla, isthmus. Ampulla, isthmus. 46. Uterus is also called dash. Womb. 47. Shape of the uterus is like inverted pear-shaped. Inverted pear-shaped. Inverted pear-shaped. 48. The cavity of the cervix is called cervical canal. Cervical canal. Cervical canal. 49. Dash and dash form the birth canal. Cervical canal and vagina. Cervical canal and vagina. Cervical canal and vagina. 50. The three layers of the wall of the uterus are perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. Perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. Perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. 51. Perimetrium is thick. F. Thin. F. Thin. F. Thin. 52. Wall which is glandular in nature is endometrium. 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 53. Myometrium is a thick, thin layer of dash types of muscles. Thick, smooth. Thick, smooth. Thick, smooth. 54. Dash produces strong contraction during delivery of a baby. Myometrium. 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 55. A diagrammatic view of female external genitalia is shown in diagram 6. Label A to H. Diagram 6. Diagram 6. A. Labium majora. B. Labium minora. C. Hymen. D. Opening of Bartholin gland. A. Anus. F. Vaginal orifice. G. Urethra. H. Clitoris. Diagram 6. A. Labium majora. B. Labium minora. C. Hymen. D. Opening of Bartholin gland. A. Anus. F. Vaginal orifice. G. Urethra. H. Clitoris. Diagram 6. A. Labium majora. B. Labium minora. C. Hymen. D. Opening of Bartholin gland. A. Anus. F. Vaginal orifice. G. Urethra. H. Clitoris. 56. Female external genitalia includes mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen, and clitoris. Mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen, and clitoris. Mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen, and clitoris. 57. Dash is a cushion of fatty tissue covered by skin and pubic hair. Mons pubis. Mons pubis. Mons pubis. 58. Dash extends down from the mons pubis and surrounds the vaginal opening. Labia majora. Labia majora. Labia majora. 59. Dash are paired folds of tissue under the labia majora. Labia minora. Labia minora. Labia minora. 60. Opening of the vagina is covered partially by a membrane called dash. Hymen. 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 61. Hymen is often torn during first intercourse. T. 62. Clitoris is a tiny dash-like structure. Finger. 63. Clitoris lies at the upper junction of two labia majora, labia minora above, below urethral opening. Labia minora, above. Labia minora, above. Labia minora, above. 64. Presence of hymen means the female is a virgin. F. 65. A diagrammatic sectional view of the mammary gland is shown in diagram 7. Label A to K. Diagram 7. A. Fat. B. Mammary lobe. C. Mammary alveolus. D. Mammary duct. A. Ampulla. F. Lactiferous duct. G. Nipple. H. Areola. I. Pectoralis major. J. Muscles between ribs. K. Rib. Diagram 7. A. Fat. B. Mammary lobe. C. Mammary alveolus. D. Mammary duct. A. Ampulla. F. Lactiferous duct. G. Nipple. H. Areola. I. Pectoralis major. J. muscles between ribs, K. Rib. Diagram. 7. A. Fat. B. Mammary lobe. C. Mammary alveolus. D. Mammary duct. A. Ampulla. F. Lactiferous duct. G. Nipple. H. Areola. I. Pectoralis major. J. Muscles between ribs, K. Rib. 66. No of mammary lobes in a female is 30 to 40, 15 to 20, times 2. 30 to 40, 15 to 20, times 2. 30 to 40, 15 to 20, times 2. 67. Mammary lobes contain clusters of cells called alveoli, alveoli, alveoli. 68. Which cells synthesize milk? Cells of alveoli, cells of alveoli, cells of alveoli. 69. Describe the pathway from the milk production site to the outside. Fat to mammary lobe to mammary alveolus to mammary duct to ampulla to lactiferous duct to nipple. Fat to mammary lobe to mammary alveolus to mammary duct to ampulla to lactiferous duct to nipple. Fat to mammary lobe to mammary alveolus to mammary duct to ampulla to lactiferous duct to nipple. 70. Milk is sucked out through the lactiferous duct. T. 71. Spermatogonia is haploid. F. 72. Primary sex organ in males is testes. 73. Spermatogonia are present on the inside, outside wall of seminiferous tubules. Inside. 74. A diagrammatic sectional view of a seminiferous tubule is shown in diagram. 8. Label A to F. Diagram. 8. A. Spermatogonium. B. Sertoli cell. C. Primary spermatocyte. D. Secondary spermatocyte. A. Spermatid. F. Spermatozoa. Diagram. 8. A. Spermatogonium. B. Sertoli cell. C. Primary spermatocyte. D. Secondary spermatocyte. A. Spermatid. F. Spermatozoa. Diagram. 8. A. Spermatogonium. B. Sertoli cell. C. Primary spermatocyte. D. Secondary spermatocyte. A. Spermatid. F. Spermatozoa. 75. Spermatogonia differentiate to primary spermatocyte, primary spermatocyte, primary spermatocyte. 76. Spermatogonia undergo meiotic division to increase numbers. F. Mitotic, F. Mitotic, F. Mitotic. 77. Primary spermatocytes are haploid. F. 78. Second meiotic division occurs in dash result in dash. Secondary spermatocyte, spermatid. Secondary spermatocyte, spermatid. Secondary spermatocyte, spermatid. 79. Spermatozoa equals sperms. T. 80. Write the various stages of gametogenesis. Spermatogonia, primary spermatocyte, secondary spermatocyte, spermatid, spermatozoa. Spermatogonia, primary spermatocyte, secondary spermatocyte, spermatid, spermatozoa. Spermatogonia, primary spermatocyte, secondary spermatocyte, spermatid, spermatozoa. 81. First haploid stage of gametogenesis is secondary spermatocyte, secondary spermatocyte, secondary spermatocyte. 82. Secondary spermatocytes have DNA content equal to spermatogonia. T. 83. Spermatids are transformed into sperms by a process called spermiogenesis. 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 84. After spermiogenesis, sperm head is embedded in Sertoli cells. T. 85. What is spermiation? Release of sperms into seminiferous tubule. Release of sperms into seminiferous tubule. Release of sperms into seminiferous tubule. 86. GnRH is released by pituitary gland. F. Hypothalamus, F. Hypothalamus, F. Hypothalamus. 87. GnRH stimulates the secretions of LH and FSH. LH and FSH. LH and FSH. 88. LH acts on dash and FSH acts on dash. Leydig cells, Sertoli cells. Leydig cells, Sertoli cells. Leydig cells, Sertoli cells. 89. LH help in spermatogenesis while FSH have no role in spermatogenesis. F. Both have role in spermatogenesis. F. Both have role in spermatogenesis. F. Both have role in spermatogenesis. 90. Identify the structure shown in diagram. 9. Label A, B, C, D, P, Q, R and S diagram. 9. Structure of sperm. A. Plasma membrane. B. Acrosome. C. Nucleus. D. Mitochondria. P. Head. Q. Neck. R. Middle piece. S. Tail. Diagram. 9. Structure of sperm. A. Plasma membrane. B. Acrosome. C. Nucleus. D. Mitochondria. P. Head. Q. Neck. R. Middle piece. S. Tail. Diagram. 9. Structure of sperm. A. Plasma membrane. B. Acrosome. C. Nucleus. D. Mitochondria. P. Head. Q. Neck. R. Middle piece. S. Tail. 91. Sperm is composed of head, neck, middle piece, tail. Head, neck, middle piece, tail. Head, neck, middle piece, tail. 92. The sperm head contains the nucleus. T. 93. The sperm head is covered by a cap-like structure called dash. Acrosome. 94. The middle piece contain dash. Mitochondria. 95. Why are numerous mitochondria needed? Produce energy for the movement of tail that facilitates sperm motility. Produce energy for the movement of tail that facilitates sperm motility. Produce energy for the movement of tail that facilitates sperm motility. 96. Dash is filled with enzymes that help fertilization of the ovum. Acrosome. 97. Human male ejaculate about dash million sperms during coitus. 200 to 300. 98. At least dash percent sperms must have normal shape and size. 60 to 60. 99. At least dash percent of them must show vigorous motility. 40. 100. At least dash percent of the total sperms must show vigorous motility. 24. Because 60% times 40% equals 24%. 24. Because 60% times 40% equals 24%. 24. Because 60% times 40% equals 24%. 101. Semen equals dash plus dash. Seminal fluid plus sperms. Seminal fluid plus sperms. Seminal fluid plus sperms. 102. Secretion of vas deferens is essential for maturation of sperms. T. 103. Secretion of bulbourethral gland is essential for maturation of sperm. F. 104. Secretion of dash and dash is essential for dash and dash of sperm, epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate, maturation and motility, epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate, maturation and motility, epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate, maturation and motility. 105. The function of male sex accessory ducts and glands is maintained by androgens. T. 106. Oogenesis is markedly different from spermatogenesis. T. 107. Oogenesis is initiated at the onset of puberty. F. It is initiated in embryonic development stage. F. It is initiated in embryonic development stage. F. It is initiated in embryonic development stage. 108. A diagrammatic section view of ovary is shown in diagram 10. Label A to F. Diagram 10A. Blood vessels. B. Primary follicle. C. Tertiary follicle. D. Graafian follicle. A. Ovum. F. Corpus luteum. Diagram 10A. Blood vessels. B. Primary follicle. C. Tertiary follicle. D. Graafian follicle. A. Ovum. F. Corpus luteum. Diagram 10A. Blood vessels. B. Primary follicle. C. Tertiary follicle. D. Graafian follicle. A. Ovum. F. Corpus luteum. 109. A couple of million oogonia is formed within each fetal ovary. T. 110. Oocyte starts division and gets temporarily arrested in dash phase of the meiotic division. Prophase I. 111. Cells temporarily arrested in prophase L are called dash, primary oocyte. 112. No more oogonia is added to ovary after birth in human male. T. 113. Primary oocyte surrounded by dash is called primary follis. Granulosa cells. 114. Large number of primary follicle degenerate during birth to puberty. T. 115. Total primary follicles left at puberty in a female body is dash. 120,000 160,000. 120,000 160,000. 120,000 160,000. 116. Primary follicles surrounded by dash and dash are called secondary follicles. Granulosa cell and nutheca. 117. Tertiary follicle is characterized by fluid-filled antrum. 118. The theca layer in tertiary follicle is organized into dash and dash. Outer theca externa and inner theca interna. Outer theca externa and inner theca interna. Outer theca externa and inner theca interna. 119. Primary oocyte completes its first meiotic division in dash stage of follicle. Tertiary. 120. Primary oocyte after meiosis forms dash and dash. Secondary oocyte in polar body. Secondary oocyte in polar body. 121. Tertiary follicle further changes into Graphian follicle. 122. Secondary oocyte forms a new membrane called dash surrounding it. Zona pellucida. 123. Mature follicle rupture to release mature ovum. It release secondary oocyte. It release secondary oocyte. 124. Mature ovum is haploid, diploid. Haploid. 125. Secondary oocyte is haploid, diploid. Haploid. 126. A diagrammatic presentation of various events during a menstrual cycle is shown in diagram. Label A, B, C, D, E and F. Identify the phases X, Y and Z. Diagram. 2. FSH, B, LH, C, estrogen, D, progesterone, A, ovulation, F, developing corpus luteum, X, menstruation, Y, follicular, proliferative phase, Z, luteal, secretory phase. Diagram. 2. FSH, B, LH, C, estrogen, D, progesterone, A, ovulation, F, developing corpus luteum, X, menstruation, Y, follicular, proliferative phase, Z, luteal, secretory phase. Diagram. 2. FSH, B, LH, C, estrogen, D, progesterone, A, ovulation, F, developing corpus luteum, X, menstruation, Y, follicular, proliferative phase, Z, luteal, secretory phase. 127. Menstruation begins at dash and dash stops at menarche, menopause. 128. Menses lasts for about dash days 3 to 5. 129. Menstruation is repeated at an average interval of about dash days. 28/29. 130. Menstrual cycle starts with dash phase, menstrual phase. 131. Menstrual flow occurs due to the breakdown of dash, endometrium. 132. Lack of menstruation confirms pregnancy. It can occur due to stress, poor health, PCOS etc. It can occur due to stress, poor health, PCOS etc. It can occur due to stress, poor health, PCOS etc. 133. Phases of menstrual cycle are menstrual phase, follicular phase, luteal phase, menstrual phase, follicular phase, luteal phase, menstrual phase, follicular phase, luteal phase. 134. Follicular phase is also called proliferative phase. 135. Changes that occur in follicular phase are I. Growth of primary follicle to Graphian follicle. E. Endometrium regenerate through proliferation. I. Growth of primary follicle to Graphian follicle. E. Endometrium regenerate through proliferation. I. Growth of primary follicle to Graphian follicle. E. Endometrium regenerate through proliferation. 136. FSH and LH increase gradually during the dash phase. Follicular phase. 137. LH and FSH attain a peak level at dash TH day. 14th. 138. LH surge indicates dash. Ovulation, Graphian follicle ruptures. 139. Secretory phase is also called dash. Luteal phase. 140. Luteal phase remains constant, i.e. of 14 days. 141. Graphian follicle transforms into dash. Corpus luteum. 142. Corpus luteum secrete large amounts of dash to maintain dash. Progesterone, endometrium. 143. During pregnancy, menstruation stops. T. 144. Menstrual cycle ceases around -years of age. 50. 145. Identify A, B, C, D and A in diagram. 12. Diagram. 12A, sperm, B, ovum, C, zona pellucida, D, cells of the corona radiata, A, perivitaline space. Diagram. 12A, sperm, B, ovum, C, zona pellucida, D, cells of the corona radiata, A, perivitaline space. Diagram. 12A, sperm, B, ovum, C, zona pellucida, D, cells of the corona radiata, A, perivitaline space. 146. Fertilization takes place at dash region of fallopian tube. Ampullary. 147. When a sperm comes in contact with dash, it causes blockage of the entry of other sperms. Zona pellucida. 148. Secretion of the dash help the sperm to enter the cytoplasm of the ovum. Acrosome. 149. What is ooted? Haploid ovum. 150. When is the second meiotic division completed in oogenesis? After the entry of sperm in the ovum, after the entry of sperm in the ovum, after the entry of sperm in the ovum. 151. Second meiotic division is an unequal division and it results in the formation of dash and dash, unequal, ooted and polar body, unequal, ooted and polar body, unequal, ooted and polar body. 152. Sex of the baby depends on father, mother, father. 153. The embryo with dash no of blastomas is called morula. 8 to 16. 154. Morula divides further to transform into blastomere. F. Blastocyst. 155. Blastomas are arranged in the outer layer called dash and an inner group of cells called dash. Trophoblast, inner cell mass. Trophoblast, inner cell mass. 156. Inner cell mass is not attached to the trophoblast. F. 157. Dash layer then gets attached to the endometrium and dash differentiates into an embryo. Trophoblast, inner cell mass. 158. After attachment, the uterine cells divide rapidly and cover the blastocyst. T. 159. Identify the structures shown in diagram. 13. Diagram. 13A, morula, B, blastocyst. Diagram. 13A, morula, B, blastocyst. Diagram. 13A, morula, B, blastocyst. 160. Finger-like projections appear on the trophoblast called dash. Chorionic villi. 161. Dash and dash jointly form placenta. Chorionic villi in uterine tissue. 162. Structural and functional unit between developing embryo and mother's body is dash, placenta. 163. Placenta supplies nutrients and oxygen and removes CO2 and waste materials from the embryo. T. 164. Name some hormones secreted by the placenta. HCG, HPL, estrogens, progesterones. HCG, HPL, estrogens, progesterones. HCG, HPL, estrogens, progesterones. 165. Hormones produced only during pregnancy are HCG, HPL and relaxin. HCG, HPL and relaxin. HCG, HPL and relaxin. 166. Levels of cortisol and thyroxine increase several folds during pregnancy. T. 167. Prolactin levels do not increase during pregnancy. F. 168. Relaxin is secreted by dash in the later part of pregnancy. Ovary, later. 169. Which part of the ovary secretes relaxin in the later phase of pregnancy? Corpus luteum. 170. Immediately after implantation, the inner cell mass differentiates into endoderm and ectoderm. Mesoderm appear later. Endoderm and ectoderm. Mesoderm appear later. Endoderm and ectoderm. Mesoderm appear later. 171. Stem cells have the potency to produce all tissue and organs. T. T. 172. Inner cell mass have stem cells. T. 173. Longest gestation period is of which animal? Elephant, 22 months. Elephant, 22 months. Elephant, 22 months. 174. Body is covered with fine hair by the end of th month, whereas appearance of hair on head occur at the end of month. 6th, 5th. 175. Most of the major organ systems are formed by the end of month. 3rd. 176. Eyelashes separate, eyelids are formed at the end of 6th month. If eyelids separate, eyelashes are formed. If eyelids separate, eyelashes are formed. If eyelids separate, eyelashes are formed. 177. In humans, after I month of pregnancy is formed. Heart. 178. By the end of 2nd month, fetus develop and dash. Limbs and digits. 179. By the end of 3 months, most of the major organ systems are formed. Limbs and external genital organs are well developed. Most of the major organ systems are formed. Limbs and external genital organs are well developed. Most of the major organ systems are formed. Limbs and external genital organs are well developed. Most of the major organ systems are formed. Limbs and external genital organs are well developed. 180. By the end of 5th month, first movements of the fetus and appearance of hair on the head. First movements of the fetus and appearance of hair on the head. First movements of the fetus and appearance of hair on the head. 181. By the end of 6th month's, body is covered with fine hair, eyelids separate, and eyelashes are formed. Body is covered with fine hair, eyelids separate, and eyelashes are formed. Body is covered with fine hair, eyelids separate, and eyelashes are formed. 182. Human fetus within a uterus is shown in diagram. 14. Label A to F. Diagram. 14A. Placental villi. B. Cavity of uterus. C. Yolk sac. D. Embryo. A. Plug of mucus in cervix. F. Umbilical cord. Diagram. 14A. Placental villi. B. Cavity of uterus. C. Yolk sac. D. Embryo. A. Plug of mucus in cervix. F. Umbilical cord. Diagram. 14A. Placental villi. B. Cavity of uterus. C. Yolk sac. D. Embryo. A. Plug of mucus in cervix. F. Umbilical cord. 183. The signals for parturition originate from dash and dash. Fetus and placenta. Fetus and placenta. Fetus and placenta. Fetus and placenta. 184. What is fetal ejection reflex? The signals for parturition originate from the fully developed fetus and placenta, which induce mild uterine contractions called fetal ejection reflex. The signals for parturition originate from the fully developed fetus and placenta, which induce mild uterine contractions called fetal ejection reflex. The signals for parturition originate from the fully developed fetus and placenta, which induce mild uterine contractions called fetal ejection reflex. 185. Parturition is an example of a positive-negative feedback mechanism. Positive. 186. Fetal ejection reflex triggers the release of dash from the maternal pituitary. Oxytocin. 187. Function of oxytocin. Acts on the muscles of uterus, causes strong uterine contractions. Acts on the muscles of uterus, causes strong uterine contractions. Acts on the muscles of uterus, causes strong uterine contractions. 188. Parturition is induced by complex neuroendocrine mechanism involving hormones, cortisol, estrogens and oxytocin, cortisol, estrogens and oxytocin, cortisol, estrogens and oxytocin. 189. Estrogen and progesterone ratio decrease during parturition. F. 190. Synthesis of prostaglandins occurs during parturition. T. 191. Dash contains several antibodies, IgA, produced during the initial days of lactation. Colostrum. 192. Mammary gland produces milk during pregnancy. F. Produce milk after pregnancy. F. Produce milk after pregnancy. F. Produce milk after pregnancy. 193. Milk produced during the initial phase of pregnancy is called colostrum. 194. Secretions of which gland is not essential for maturation of sperms? Cooper's gland. 195. Sperms have dash nucleus. Elongated.